You know, we're doing a full renovation here.
I do know that.
It has affected me dearly.
I look it over. She's tapping away at her phone. And I'm like, what are you looking at? She's like, I'm looking at houses in the hills because that's where we're going to end up. And I said, do you know how goddamn disrespectful that is?
So we're going to, what's the guy's name?
Putin?
No, what was the arms dealer's name?
Nicolas Cage played him in the movie Lord of War.
Victor Bout is the guy's name. Serial arms dealer that we're going to trade for Brit.
Blockbuster trade.
Blockbuster trade. The LA Sparks are giving up Victor for Brittany Griner.
I am wondering, and this could really go either way. I know for a fact that she was on the Mercury for a long time. As you know, I really want vote yes on Prop 27, everybody. But, or is it no?
No, it's
the Native Americans have confused me.
It's definitely vote yes, and we talked about this off mic. You know, I'm fiercely. I loathe monopolistic powers. It's what's wrong with the country right now.
We got to get back to the Brittany point. People are confused.
What people on one side of the Native American issue are doing, the fat cats of the gambling industry and the Native American community, they don't want this to pass because they want to keep their hold of the gold. And now we've got these little bubbling communities on the other side of the Native American community who want to get in on the fucking shit, man. You call it California, we call it Oleomo. These guys are just trying to get their what? Dick wet? What do you say it?
Their beaks.
Beaks wet, yes.
I actually now call it Oleomo too.
Yeah.
When people are like, where do you live? I'm like, Los Angeles, Oleomo.
By the way, if you guys
are yes on Prop 27.
Confused?
Yeah, if you're confused, it's intentional and it's on both sides. When you hear what they're trying to sell on both sides and the bullshit that both sides lay down that have absolutely nothing to do with the matter at hand, it's truly disgusting. It does.
You're talking about with propositions in general, or you're talking
all
about
of
with
them.
Prop 27?
All of them. There was a proposition a year ago in an election where it was like they kept on commercials. They ran it every 4 seconds. Like, do you want to see chickens in cages this small? And you're like, no, I don't want to see that. And then you get down to the, what this whole thing's about. It's like, it's fast food restaurants. They were trying to get to your heart. Like, look how sad it is to have this many chickens in a little cage. Would you like them in bigger ones? And the proposition, the bigger thing of it was like, we want to kill more chickens.
So the cages were small, right?
Yeah.
But the big cages would also be small because of the amount of chickens that were now inside of
hey,
the
come on,
cages.
pass this proposition. Pass this proposition.
Yeah.
You don't want to see little chickens in little cages, do you?
Yeah.
It's all diabolical and disgusting.
A similar thing happened with the Uber proposition that was trying to make Uber drivers, instead of contractors, full-time employees.
Yeah.
The side that was saying, like, they want them to be full-time employees was saying this is worker rights. They want it all. But all Uber drivers I talk to, which is actually me talking to Uber drivers is actually something I'll do later, going the extra mile, tips for a pleasant Uber ride. Right. But I would talk to Uber drivers all the time, and none of them wanted it to pass. They liked the freedom of being a contractor and some of the other freedoms that go along with it. So, but the reason we brought this up is because I was going to ask Dylan. He said the LA Sparks are going to trade Russia for Victor Bout,
Brittany Griner,
the dangerous Russian arms dealer. And I wanted to ask Dylan, does she actually play for the Sparks? Because when I used to gamble on WNBA, I have since stopped. I killed it for a little bit, but she was on the Phoenix Mercury, and I was like, bet on them because she's super fucking tall. Mm-hmm. So is she not on the Mercury anymore?
She plays in Russia because that's where there was the most money. But really quickly, I do want to say, when all that Uber proposition shit was going on, I would ask almost every Uber driver I entered into an agreement with, you get me there safe, and I'll try to stomach being in the back of your vehicle. And I would always ask them about their thoughts on the proposition. And they didn't fucking... I don't know. A lot of them were like, I don't fucking know, man. I mean, I have really no fucking clue. Or when they tried to explain it to me, it didn't really make any sense. And it was because, and I'm not trying to flame anybody, but they're Uber drivers.
Right.
You talked to them different because they were all very passionate and pro that
Really?
they wanted to stay contractors. I swear to God.
Really?
I swear to God.
Yeah, you were an Uber driver too a couple years ago.
I've played both sides of the
I
fence
forgot
on
I
this
am
one.
too.
Yeah, you are
Yeah.
too. You currently are.
Right.
Yeah. Well, don't break character, okay, Kaufman. But yes, Brittany Griner was playing in Russia, and I don't know a lot.
She had been for a number of years, I think I heard.
I don't know a lot about the WNBA. I don't know a lot about Brittany Griner.
Well, according to CNN, it was actually sexist because she wouldn't have had to go over there if they weren't getting their fair wages over here with the WNBA.
Oh, look who just made it political.
I'm quoting a CNN segment.
How is that political?
Well, I'm getting gaslit a little bit, but there was definitely a negative connotation with CNN, correct?
No, that was their point of view. She wouldn't have gotten arrested if we weren't so sexist over
Sure,
here.
yeah, but you could say somebody's point of view with the same cadence that you said, right? So I'll do this. There's some crazy left-wing people who think that people should just be allowed to sleep on the street. And then you go, hey, don't bring issues in. Well, I'm not being political.
Okay,
I'm just saying what they're saying.
Okay,
yeah,
fine.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't watch the WNBA that much, or
No one does.
at all. But keep playing. I mean, basketball is a lot of fun. There's just this one video of Brittany Griner that's really, really awkward where they're doing this TV spot or something, and the guy's like, and listen, I'm not trying to shit on female sports. I love female UFC is really cool.
Yeah. I find it more entertaining than actually the male version. Of
Love the U.S. women's national team.
Tennis is pretty fun.
I can't throw up enough. I love women's
cried.
tennis.
Yeah, women's tennis is unbelievable.
The soccer national team is a psyop.
If you watch Dare to
women's-
Dream with Mia Hamm and Julie Foudy.
They're classics. That was when it was about the sport and
Well,
ripping your shirt off and scoring a goal.
It has gotten too politicized, but when Ambi Wambach was just running bitches over, I mean, it was a good time. So I'm not trying to shit on women's sports, but there is a really pathetic clip of Brittany Griner of this TV spot. They're like, "Why don't you dunk it for us, Brittany?" And then she goes up to try to dunk, and she doesn't. She can't do it despite being 8.5 feet tall, and she tries 3 times, can't do it, and it's this really awkward.
Say her back hurts or something.
Yeah.
Hey, this isn't going to get us in trouble. Sometimes.
What do you mean?
Well,
Why would it?
we're talking about women's sports, and then we're going to probably get a little political.
Well, you said that we liked women's sports.
Oh, okay.
A ton.
It didn't sound like you guys were too positive about women's sports. There.
Well, no,
I
he
don't-
said the women's national team currently is a psyop because of Megan Rapinoe and her cool shades and her cool sneaker and her cool sneakers and her purple hair, which is like Nick and my dad and my Uncle Tommy. They all agree.
Okay.
I can see where you're coming from. It's
when she just starts showing up at the White House and stuff. I mean, there's stuff we're not seeing behind closed doors. But I have to reiterate, I love women's tennis. I actually find it better than the men's game.
I bet you have black friends too.
I absolutely, I absolutely do.
Nick is Laura Ingraham right now. He's telling Megan Rapinoe to shut up and dribble.
I used to print off a picture of Serena Williams when I was 13 years old and pleasure myself.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Great. So we are.
That shows I love women's sports and black
right.
people.
We
It's
are
all
in a
good.
prison exchange for an arms dealer named Victor Bout for Brittany Griner. Now, we have a muse that can help us get into this conversation, and it's none other than
Boosie. Once bought him 2 pounds of weed. That is literally neither here nor there.
no,
but
it's not here nor there. But Nick was producing a podcast, and they wanted this guest on. He said, "I'll come on if you give me 2 pounds of weed."
Y'all annoying me right now, for real, nigga. You wanna talk shit? You wanna run your mouth? You want some gang to stretch your motherfucking house? We a set this bitch out.
And during the riots, the first night we got curfew because of the race wars that were happening. In the summer of 2020.
Were those race wars?
Essentially.
Yeah.
Oh
well,
boy, here we go.
It was more like.
I'm just saying.
It was just more like general anarchy. I think there were a lot of whites that were like, "Hey, I'll fucking break into a Prada too."
I actually agree.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm just saying I was down in Long Beach procuring this 2 pounds of weed when they declared that you couldn't be on the streets after 6 p.m. because it was so dangerous. It was a wild time in my life. But yes, Boosie put out some thoughts on it. And truth be told, I haven't even heard what Boosie is about to say.
Boosie had, when he was on Theo Von's show, he gave the most damning indictment of Chick-fil-A.
Little ass nuggets.
Little ass nuggets. And Chick-fil-A does have little ass nuggets, they have to make them bigger. We don't need you to make it mush. We don't need you to make it like Mickey D's, but just cube the breast a little bit bigger for people. You can't charge people for those little ass nuggets.
I think their menu is so small and it's so not diverse. They're really trying to differentiate the nugget from just like a patty, so they don't have like this big tender that will just look the exact same thing. They're like, oh, we have these little nuggets. That's different.
Little ass nuggets.
Oh, is that what he says there? I'm pissed off in a lot. Mo people too. You got to do something about this. If we go to war with them, they gonna kill in prison.
Okay, let's listen to what Boozy's got to say.
How the hell this girl get 9 years for a weed pen?
Political retribution.
Yeah.
And the USA ain't doing nothing about it.
Well, she's a woman.
You tell me that. If that was Taylor Swift, it'll be a peace treaty right now.
That's true, Booze.
But if it was Rihanna, there would
just
also
like
be a
we'll
peace treaty.
That's
they'll
true.
be clapping to go to war
Yeah.
for a weed pen.
For
Nah,
weed
yeah.
peen. Yeah. Yeah.
What that show for black women
I need to hear the whole thing.
Okay,
in
okay.
the United States. And the vice president, as a black woman,
She loves locking
supposed
people
to
up for
be on
weed.
the
Yeah,
front
she
line.
loves locking people up for weed.
you supposed to be on the front line to get that black woman out of jail.
He's crying. He's very upset. Or he's just
9
baked
damn
out of
years.
his mind.
Little of both.
Y'all fucked up in this world.
Yeah. Okay, so Booze, really quickly, like you said, if it was Rihanna, I think that we would be going to war. And if it was Beyonce, we would nuke Russia.
Well, we would we would get her and then we would nuke her, even though it's over.
Right.
Like, just never do that again. And you
yeah,
won't.
yeah.
I have some thoughts on this. Russia is a pretty corrupt government or system. You know, you can pretty much pay anybody off or anything.
It's a government.
Let's quit talking about this. Let's trade some fucking gun hustlers that sold guns to terrorists that killed Americans and all that business. Or why don't we just pull some briefcases over there? We get that CIA over there. We get a private plane over there. Someone can be paid off. They can pay. Look, if we can kill Jeffrey Epstein in a prison to, shut him up.
Who's we?
The powers that be. We
Okay.
can pull off anything on the planet Earth. We can get her out for like $5 million if we really put our heads to the ground. You know what I mean? We start thinking.
No, I don't think so. I don't think Putin wants money.
Not him. He doesn't want the money. His underlings do.
Grease the underlings.
That's right.
Got it.
Find out
Grease
what
the
prison
underlings.
she's staying at, or get some Black Hawk Down guys over there and
Wouldn't it
sneak
be
her
so
out.
funny if we did a Zero Dark 30 thing to pry Brittany Griner out of jail? It's really fucked up. I guess it's more of an indictment on the market's appetite for the WNBA, in that people are, it's a sad truth, but people are like, oh, that sucks that she's locked up. And that's about as outraged as the public sentiment is going to get.
That's their laws. That's their laws. I hear a lot of that. It seems 9 years seems a little conspicuous, seeing as would it have been 4 weeks pre-Ukraine invasion? It seems, as you pointed out at the top of the show, a little politicized.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
We have her over here, and we're not going to let her go, and we're going to torture you, and we're going to make your government look weak because you can't do anything about it. Is really what's happening here.
I think the reason the U.S. isn't doing more is because she left the WNBA.
Yeah,
I mean,
like, if
reap
you're-
what you sow. You're playing in Russia. Why do we need you back? So you can go
100%.
play for China?
Yeah, they asked Biden. He said
already did.
He said, "I don't negotiate to get turncoats out of fucking prison," because that's what she is. She's a fucking turncoat.
Let me tell you what we did when Corn Pop was in Russia.
Come on, man. So, speaking of evil old men, and I Biden's not an evil old man, but he isn't.
Putin.
Yeah, Putin's an evil old
Good
man. There we
segue.
go. Thank you. I am having a bit of an issue with my landlord,
My Segui,
who is an evil old man.
like Putin.
He a landlord,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Yeah,
But-
it's a fucking flawless
name.
Segui. I don't know what.
And honestly,
It's flawless.
I love tenant landlord drama. It's actually it's quite fascinating to me, especially in California where you have all the rights.
You
Burn
have-
this guy's house down.
It's so crazy because I still feel as though I need to kowtow a little bit, make concessions.
You don't.
I don't, but it's in the title.
Yeah.
He is the landlord. It's one of the most
Not
antiquated...
Noliomo.
Right. Not an Oliomo. And I do need to embrace the power of Oliomo to show this guy what's up. But anyways, I don't know why. I don't know if this is your guys' experience with landlords, but every landlord I've ever had is automatically on the defense. They always have this attack first, ask questions later kind of attitude where it's like, why are you fucking
Give us an example, because the last place I lived in where I was a renter, I had that same relationship with my landlord.
So landlord is can't work an email account to save his life, but like
That's a Pat move.
right,
Acting ignorant so you don't have to call the Uber.
You'll send an email and he'll go, please remember to always put your unit, address,
On the
zip
check.
code, and phone number in the subject line, and then like
That's
he'll
fair.
No, it's not fair when he will email. There'll be 5 people on a thread, and he'll just email a random person who really isn't involved. That's a bad example, but
I think I get what you're throwing down. Like a contractor that needs to fix a toilet. Suddenly you're on an email. Show up to Unit 4 on Monday. Like, what the fuck am I getting here?
right, well, here's a better example. I called the person to talk about the ant issue that we're having, and out of nowhere, he just goes, "You're the only problem. The other units haven't called me at all."
Can I say that was my initial first instinct?
What?
That's well, we got ants, but you left some food out? Or
No.
something?
This
You
is
spilled a pop down the back of the.
this is a chronic issue.
I got some ant spray around there. It cost me like $100. I'm gonna let you take it home with you tonight. You spray it around your doors and your windowsills. You won't have a problem anymore.
Patrick,
It's
and to
profession.
you too.
Shut up.
Do you think if I was dealing with a little ant problem, I wouldn't just go to the store, buy some traps, spray them down, and not contact my landlord?
I think he's saying because it's his profession. He's finally figured out the solution.
This stuff's expensive. This is the
Yeah,
real deal.
So
Holyfield.
what is
I mean,
it?
it's in a big container. It's got the spray thing, the extender. It's got a motor on it. It goes.
Okay, well, here's the thing. We've had exterminators over the house 3 times in the past 3 months. And when I was flamed by this landlord, dare I say gaslit, when he said you're the only person complaining, I almost instantaneously walked to the other units and said, hey, do you guys have ants? And they said they're coming out of the sockets. They're everywhere. We've gone through 3 bags of cat food. We've tried to cinch it up, seal it. We've tried to put it in Rubbermaid containers. These fucking things have annihilated like $150 worth of cat food. Our unit said their dog food's fucked up. They have bites all over. It's a problem. They have come and they have sprayed the place down so many times, and still the ants persist because they cannot find the colony. Now, here's where the rub is. The exterminator said that the problem with this situation,
The exterminator.
yes, is that the foundation in the surrounding building of the building
Is dirt.
is so fucked up. There are so many cracks. There are so many issues with the actual building that they don't know where they are concentrating. He goes, look at this crack in the cement, and he sticks his thing in, this motorized spray thing, and he just starts spraying. And he's like, if this was a shallow crack, we'd see the foam right now, but it's just going. It's so deep, I don't know how the fuck to get in there. So we've got this problem where I am being accosted by ants, and I don't know how to fix it. It sounds like you're just going to have to wait till it gets colder because the landlord's not doing anything about it.
So yeah,
He's just angry at me for complaining about
he was
it.
saying shove off, and he thought that lie would work, but he didn't know that you're a passionate man about you
Passionate.
being right.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he didn't know you do your
Extremely.
due diligence to, in fact, cooperate with other
Yes.
fellow tenants to
Right.
prove him wrong.
Right.
Did you, in fact, put together an email with proof that, in fact, there were other tenants that were having the same problem as you?
Yes, and the exterminator was sent out 2 days later. Once again, he just said, I can't do anything. You're going to have to just wait till it gets cold.
Oh, really?
That was the solution.
Wouldn't it be funny if the exterminator said, I think you're just going to have to sue, and then handed you a card of a good lawyer or something?
I
wish.
wish.
With his name on it?
No, I don't want to. I
don't wanna get that.
I don't want to get litigious.
Well,
but
look, once you caught the landlord in a lie, he did, those exterminators, they're not cheap. I'm not saying this guy's a perfect person or whatever, but I mean, what's he going to do? He's going to have to probably do major remods on this fucking unit here.
100%. So that's the thing. It's
Shove off.
It's shove off. We're not fixing the foundation of this dwelling.
Yeah.
And
I think we should give Dylan more suggestions how to get rid of them without knowing what he's been through with it already, because that was fun.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
Well,
He's like, you
why don't you just buy some ant spray? Fucking bitch.
What, you leaving food out, you idiot?
I will say this, and well, now you hire professionals. I assume they know they got to do the entire perimeter.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
the
yeah.
entire
You would hope.
perimeter.
Yeah.
Where Dylan lives, it's pretty cool, and it's not unique to architecture that I've seen before. The way that this structure is built, it's pretty cool looking, but it looks like it also creates a lot of problems. How it's
Yeah, it's old and it's quaint, but there's no central air, and there are a fuck ton of fucking ants all
well, you
over the
fought for
place.
that apartment, just to
Oh,
remind you,
big
sir.
time, big fight. And I love the apartment, and it will get cold, and we will no longer have ants. But it got me thinking. There's that old expression: "He wouldn't hurt a fly." Mm-hmm. Flies are so difficult to kill. Mm-hmm. Like who are these people that are just knocking flies out of the air?
My wife,
really.
and I'm like, don't kill him. Just come on, let him out the door.
But with a swatter.
But I'm not good enough to get them.
You can with a swatter. If you have a swatter, it's incredible how, because they don't sense them coming. They don't whip out of the way. They're a real great invention. I love attempting to catch a fly. I'll get maybe 2-3 a year out of 1,000 attempts. You're supposed
Right.
You're supposed to, when they sit there, you put your hand facing them, and then you just go at it quick so that it flies into your hand. Its first
Oh,
move.
nice, good to know.
I when I was younger, I used to be able to do it better, but I think they've gotten.
I did a
quicker.
Mr. Miyagi, but it wasn't chopsticks. I did an Obama first day in office when he's doing an interview. He caught a fucking fly with his hand. I did that recently.
Yeah, what is that? I've never been able to do that. And so that aphorism, he wouldn't hurt a fly, I think it's more apt to say he wouldn't hurt an ant, because I have had, me, I don't like, I'm a softie. I don't like killing spiders. I will go to great lengths to get spiders out of
I have to, or my wife will kill him. I go, all right, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, exactly. And very rarely do I kill them.
What about the homeless around the road under the underpass?
Oh, they deserve to die.
That's pretty cut and dried. But anyways, yeah, your point taken. You're a big softie.
I have a landlord story.
You had a point.
Really quickly,
You had
yeah.
a
So
point.
he wouldn't hurt a fly. I don't like killing anything really, but these ants. Every once in a while, I'll just be sitting at my desk working, and I'll feel a little tickle on my hand, and I see this little guy.
Just blow him.
And he's just walking up my hand, and I, like some type of god to be feared, just smush them.
You smush him.
I smoosh them, and I've done it to probably hundreds over the past couple months. I smoosh. I just go like this to their little feeble bodies. You can barely feel their little souls leaving. I mean, it's just unbelievable. It's this.
They're part of a larger community, Dylan. Worker ants and all that.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
have a queen, and I feel
Dude,
bad.
I've learned so much about these creatures through these frequent visits of the exterminators. When you put bait out, they'll send kamikaze pilots in. Mm-hmm. And if they don't come back, they know the direction they sent them, they have to go around it. They circumvent even the finest cracks. The man's trying to fill everything with bait, but there's just too many cracks.
Hey, Dylan, just stop being more of a humanitarian next time. Take that little ant out, give him grace, and just go and blow him off your hand.
You know what? It would be smarter to do that. Send him back. Tell them it is not a problem to come this way. And then I can kill them more in one strafe.
You want to hear an argument that my wife and I had about 3 weeks ago? So we're sitting in bed. We're watching the Dateline. It's a great murder. I'm totally into it. There's a fucking mosquito in the room. It's like... Sheree goes
Mosquitoes
like
I'll
this.
kill in 2 seconds.
Oh, me too, because they're extracting blood from me. It's painful. They leave a...
Invasive species kill on site.
It's so invasive. They're taking your blood from you.
Well, they're Draculas
and
with wings.
spreading monkeypox to gay men.
So my wife,
That's fucked up.
she smacks the mosquito right on her arm.
Yeah.
Pulls away, got you. And then she picks up her glass of Pinot and starts sucking it down.
Right.
And I turned to her and I said, and I can't have my bare feet on the bed after I walk on the floor? You just killed a fucking insect. The blood's still on your finger.
False equivalency.
In
but
no
let's
way.
drill into this. What?
She kills a mosquito on her arm
No, I know. But what? You can't have your bare feet
after I walked on a floor. If my my
can't
feet
either.
are in the bed, they have to have had socks on them. I'm not allowed to walk around on the floor barefoot. Is my point. In the house.
okay.
Oh, I am allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to bring socks into the bed.
Yeah, that isn't. I can't do that either. Yeah, I'm a prisoner in my own house.
Same.
So you have to walk around in
She
socks.
doesn't even live there.
And then you have to get on the bed.
Remove
then you
the
have
socks.
to take the socks off.
Yet she will allow a dead insect that she just murdered on her arm and then treat it like, oh, that's not dirty at all.
Oh, she doesn't. She didn't even wipe it off.
No.
Oh, she let the carcass and the blood just sit there while she sucked down her Pinot.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's like it never happened.
What have you-
Another ant fact.
Yeah.
One of the strongest animals with the ratio of body weight to what they can carry. You know, number one,
Ants.
the dung beetle.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bet you didn't know that.
Pat?
I-
You okay with him taking your bit?
I didn't say wow.
Have you thought about fighting against this?
I'm broken, man. She's defeated me. I have nothing left to fight.
You've not had a single bout where you've these little things, these mechanisms of control, this dare I say glass house you're living in. And when I say glass house, I'm referencing the horror with Lili Sebecki. You haven't fought back against any of these things? Like, have you?
I'll take it for you, Pat. What you've come to understand, Pat, is all these things that you don't want to do are better for you, and they're- and you
Isn't that
don't.
right,
You
Your
don't
feet are
piggy?
pretty dirty when you walk around
Yeah.
the floor and you're in bed.
You
Isn't
don't
that
know
right,
what you're
little
inviting
piggy?
into your bed. This is the rules, and it's good for you, and you will accept it, and it's okay.
You
Yeah,
want to know the
that's right,
gall
little
that my
piggy.
wife had on Saturday night? You know, we're doing a full renovation here. At
I
this
do
house.
know that.
It has affected me dearly.
I look it over. She's tapping away at her phone, and I'm like, "What are you looking at?" She's like, "I'm looking at houses in the hills because that's where we're going to end up." And I said, "Do you know how goddamn disrespectful that is?"
What a bitch. I'm kidding.
That's okay. She
No,
was.
no, I'm
You're
completely
essentially just
kidding.
putting the finishing touches on like your life's work, this beautiful home that you added on, addition, and a pool for your family. And she's
my
like,
kid.
"What's next?"
What's next?
Hey, what's the ratio of input into this project?
of her?
Yeah, well, both of you.
50-50.
Really? It's
Yeah.
been 50-50.
Yeah, I try and be nice. She's doing the whole kitchen. I said, "You can do what's in the house. I'll do it outside."
Women love backsplashes.
Yeah, she does.
I love a backsplash. I don't want anything to do with picking it out, but if it's good, I like it.
Yeah,
I'll show you mine and get your take on it.
Do you have to leave, Pat?
No, I was going to tell my
His
landlord
yeah,
story.
yeah.
story. Yeah.
Okay, so you want to hear a really good episode of another podcast show? I told a story. We all told stories of our worst neighbors or people that live next to us in an apartment.
That's right.
And I told
Holy
a story
shit.
about a guy named I forget what I fake named him. It was something Bob or something.
You're Bob.
Bob. And
I think we called him Brob or something.
Brob.
Yeah, Bob Robert or something
Yes.
like that.
It was a
Robert Ory, Big Shot
a
Rob.
harrowing
Right.
tale of the worst neighbor ever. It lasted years. He threatened to kill me. He went to jail twice for that.
And then Nick had those old people that were bumming everybody out, and then
Yes.
I had the people who were wore masks.
That's right. Oh, that was great. Those two girls that tried to cover up your Ring camera because you felt like, even despite the fact that it was pointing outside to the...
They
felt-
told me that I was. How the fun did this? She said that someone could hack into it and watch them, and I was like, "What the fuck do you think anyone would want to
So
see
they
your fucking ass walk out of your apartment?"
That was insane because they dressed up. Imagine seeing your Ring camera and looking at the footage for the day, and they...
the morning after we got into the
they
dispute.
dressed up like the fucking guy in Saw with like pig masks or some
They had
crazy
fucking
shit.
horrifying
No, that's the
masks.
others.
Was it the other? Which ones were they wearing?
They were wearing masks. It's so funny that you
I
bring
just
up-
Jigsaw.
No, you're
is-
talking about the strangers.
Oh, strangers.
You're talking about the strangers.
Damn it.
When we were in Colorado, this I when you're out in the woods, it's really spooky that there's just darkness everywhere.
And silence.
Same thing with Virginia. It's national forest. It's just dark. And there's crickets, bullfrogs. There is the wind blowing.
That was great timing of that throw.
Yeah,
did that for
great
production.
time. Yeah, did that for production. But one of my biggest fears in life is people watching me and I don't know they're watching me. That's my biggest fear is there's somebody in the window looking at me and I have no idea that it's happening.
That's crazy. One of my favorite pastimes is looking at people and they don't know.
But they're the strangers is the height of my biggest fears. Just crazy people picking the house. And that one of the last lines in that movie, I think Liv Tyler asks them, why are you doing this? And they said, because you were home. Oh my God, that's so fucking horrifying.
Now,
True story, too.
I watched that movie, but I
Based.
played on my phone while I was watching it. But I had to see what those three actors looked like, and they were, and I looked them up on IMDb.
Yeah.
The girl was cute.
Yeah, handsome.
Yeah.
She was a very handsome lady. So anyways, Landlord.
Epic episode of APS when we talked about those neighbors.
So
Yeah,
in the
epic.
early years of my relationship with Brob, and it was a living hell. I used to call the owners of the building. Now, there were 9 units. Bob had one. That leaves 8 other units that are dealing with Bob. Well, wouldn't you know that I got 7 out of those 8 units to write a letter of their experiences with Brob and how he was torturing the entire apartment complex. He had one holdout. And I forget her name, but she was a bitch. And she was like 75 years old. And she didn't like that I'd thrown some get-togethers. And one time I was out talking to a friend and she dumped water over my head because she was on the 2nd floor. I said, what the fuck? Anyway,
Whoa.
she defended Brob. So,
Right.
But anyway,
Well, you shouldn't have been so fucking loud, man.
I sent.
Did you tell her that he was trying to kill you?
She witnessed it the night of.
He's
She
going to
was there.
murder me. Well, you shouldn't have thrown so many parties.
It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
So
My dad did that to a deaf kid one time at our old apartment. He just kept knocking on the door. My dad was trying to write, so he opened the window and he threw a bucket of water on him.
he did. How'd he take it?
I mean, the kid, his name was Arthur. He had a really good spirit about him, so he thought it was funny, I think.
I had a deaf kid who had great spirit about him, but I'm going to save some of the stories. I just thought of a myriad of them.
So anyway, I send these letters
deaf
over
Cody.
about Bob, whatever,
Rob, yeah.
Big shot, Rob.
and
Big shot, Rob.
and
Almost shot.
they come back with me and they said, this is my landlord, and they said he's a pretty litigious guy. We sent this over to the lawyers, and it's just real tough to get these people out. We need more or whatever. What do you need more? We had a neighbor that wrote a letter saying that
The guy said he was going to fucking
kill me. Then we had a neighbor that's wrote in the letter, I remember this, that they caught Bob trying to stick a knife in my tires. And they said, and I quote, "You're busted, Bob." We had a neighbor that wrote that.
Right.
Then we had a pregnant woman that said she was feeling so overwhelmed with anxiety that she was concerned about being able to take baby to term. Can you imagine?
Jesus.
That still was not enough.
Yeah, it's like somebody telling Aaron Brockovich, you've just got to go back to the drawing board. We don't have enough here.
It was absolutely incredible. And I totally get where they're going with this. But I, one point, got on the phone with the owner of the building. I'll beep it. Kim Shapiro. Look her up. She's probably on there. She owns a bunch of buildings. And the way that Kim Shapiro got a building was that her father had bought 3 buildings for 3 of his children. He was a businessman, and he gave each one of his children a building to set them up for life. And Dylan, you are the person that kind of hates white people's entitlement. But when I got that fucking piece of information, I lost my fucking mind, and I got on the phone, and well, she didn't pick up. I left a message. Just screaming that you don't know what it feels like to live in a shitty apartment next to a psychopath. And how would it feel if this was your fucking sister that was pregnant with a fucking lunatic threatening to kill people with a gun? And how do you fucking like it?
We have ants.
How is it not easier for when there's this uprising, this mutiny, and it's like it's 8-1? How is it not easier for the landlord to get rid of the
system
problem?
is
I don't
all
know.
geared towards the lunatics. She's got 7 tenants writing letters. We're not going to do anything, and we'll probably just deal with it, right? Because we're suckers. But we also have another idiot that if you make waves with him, now you got to pay
He'll
for
kill you.
lawyers.
If
They'll kill
someone
you.
bought let's say someone buys a duplex or a quad in like Hancock Park, and they're like, we're gonna pay the mortgage. All you have to do is manage it. You can live there, and then once we've paid for everything, you can have it. Would you guys take that? Because I don't fucking think I would. Being a landlord, managing other people, having to deal with their shit, people bitching that they've got ants and stuff.
Or change a light bulb.
I wouldn't want to. No fucking way would that be worth it.
It's not worth it.
Oh my God.
By the way, I just end the story if you didn't listen to my story about this. Eventually, I drove Brob out because I was very active with the police. And anytime this fucker did anything, I fucking called the cops. And they became so used to the story that they'd come on and it's like, is it Brob again? And we finally drove him out. He got him arrested multiple times where he gave in. And it was no landlord that was going to help me. And I'll end this story. I fucking bought a house finally after living at this shitty apartment for fucking 15 years.
Yeah.
And I wrote a letter and I said, this is my final month. And they had the temerity, or they thought so low of me. They had someone call me to make sure that it was me. And I got on the phone to confirm that I had, in fact, was my last month because I bought a house and I was moving. And they said, yeah, I showed the letter to Karen and then I showed it to Kim and I said, Pat's leaving. And we were like, let's make sure. And I'm like, why? Because I'm a loser and you never thought I'd leave this place. And that was definitely implied.
Good work.
Dude, I am so excited.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
Nick just sent me.
Yeah.
You want to talk about another letter?
Hold on.
That Pat wrote? My God, I'm so fucking excited to
I wrote a
talk
letter?
about this.
So I'm actually audibling. You guys are going to have to wait for the health. I forgot this was my other thing.
Oh, dude.
And I was way more excited about this one and I forgot about it.
See you soon, PJ.
Oh, my Facebook post? No, read it.
Yeah. No, it's an incredible post, Pat. So
I have a story about that. Come on, how long have we been going?
Pat, you need to go.
No, you have to. I actually switched because I knew this would make him stay here, and I get to introduce it because I brought it up. I get to introduce it.
All right, so
You can't tell the story.
I have a Karen story with a girl named Karen that I went to high school with that ruined that post.
I was gonna get to some of the comments. I hadn't seen the updates yet. So.
All right.
We've talked often about Facebook and it's the most entertaining is hometown Facebook, which despite looking down upon it, just like Dylan and I, Pat is a part of.
Yeah, it's hometown Facebook. I would say like little town Facebook,
Yeah.
or small town
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah.
is. It's
Just
really,
when I thought I was out, you brought me back in.
You just texted Drew. You're like 10 more minutes.
See you soon, PJ.
So
That's my name.
No,
back
I
then.
know.
it's just some of my favorite when I see stuff from lacrosse, like people bickering, like someone in their neighborhood has a huge problem with someone in their neighborhood group using the word powwow.
Happens in Craig County all the time.
And
He's got his goddamn hounds out again on 311. Does anybody know who this guy is? Somebody talk to him.
and then 7,000 comments. Nothing gets the community engaged like a fucking dog on the loose.
Small town Facebook.
Or a hometown hero coming back and throwing a party.
Yeah.
But I scrolled past a Facebook post from someone we all know that got quite the engagement. They were letting everybody know they were returning, triumphant return to their hometown. And the person who posted this was none other than Patrick Hickey.
Yeah.
Dylan, would you like to read?
I'm
the
going
post?
home next week to Massachusetts after a 4-year
Hiatus,
stay.
and you're never going back.
And your
Probably
child
not.
has never been there.
Nope.
She's
Gonna
going.
meet my mom for the first time.
Yeah.
Pat writes, "Hey, massholes, I'll be back home next week and would love to see everyone. I'll be Now, this is the kind of Facebook post we've talked about before. Only lunatics write this kind of Facebook post because you're welcoming in the wheat and the chaff. But so he goes, I would I want to
He
see.
damn near specified the wheat and the chaff in the post.
I want to see everyone. I'll be throwing a get-together on Friday, August 12th. This is my favorite part. At an undisclosed location in Leominster from 4 till we fall down.
Did you
All I
spell
want-
the name of the city wrong?
No.
Oh, that's Leominster?
All are welcome. Family, friends, teachers, ex-girlfriends, and even that pussy that sucker punched me at Galleon's. At Galleon's party, you can come too. Just let me know in the comments, and I'll DM you the address.
See you soon.
See you soon, PJ.
Yeah. Now, this...
And you posted a picture of PBR?
Yeah, it's just cheap fucking kids beer that we used to drink in high school.
Right.
Now, I talked to my mother. She's pretty pissed about this. Because it's going to be at her house.
The classic undisclosed location.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
parents' house.
My mom's house.
So I said, Mom, you need a half barrel. She said, what are you going to do? You guys are all old. None of you guys are going to drink all that beer. You're all old now. I'm like, Mom, just get a half barrel. Which is like, why? I'm like, because I'm going to have 60 people at the house. So anyway, that post has actually been edited. And I want to just get to this. So I posted that, and it's meant to be fun.
What a
and
well you've brought forth.
whimsical. And so why don't you bring the post back up? Sorry.
I just had a screenshot. If you want to go to your Facebook,
That's fine
you're
if you
friends
don't
with Pat.
So I said there's a point in there where I
This is definitely
basically
screen
welcome
recording.
everybody, ex-girlfriends, teachers, and that pussy that sucker punched me at Galleon's house. You can come too. Originally, Galleon is not the person who threw the party. Chris Galleon is the kid who sucker punched me breaking up a fight.
Oh, I thought Galleon's was a bar.
No, it was a house party thrown by Dante. And I had not known, because Dante just worked at Demolus grocery store at the time he used to throw these bangers back in 1992. Little did I know that Dante had reached the heights of fire marshal in our small town. So I got a text from Karen on Tuesday. I'm sending you a message privately because I do have concerns about the post mentioning Dante. He and my sister were married and have 2 kids. I'm wondering, before referencing Dante's name, you checked with him to see if it was okay, because this is the world we live in now.
Wow.
He is now the fire chief in Fitchburg. I know you didn't reference his last name. I have concern about his privacy. Jesus fucking Christ, Karen. Her name's really Karen, too. She's really going to love me calling her out on this show. Anyway, I said...
You could do a who's on first / dude sweet kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where you just call her Karen.
Yeah.
The entire time you're talking
I
to
should
her.
have.
Yeah.
But I said
Yeah,
quickly...
whatever, Karen.
The same thing.
Get out of my comment section, Karen.
Well, I said, yeah, I don't mind editing it. It's just a funny name. I'll remove his name. And then I quickly changed it. And then she said, well, that's up to you. I was just wondering, typical Karen behavior.
Yeah.
Then why fucking bring it up, Karen?
And she has no relationship with Dante?
You know, she said
Or
her
that
sister's
pussy that
married
punched you
to
at
him.
Galleon? Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Missed that part.
But I was just thinking, like, I'm just having a fun time. You got to ruin the fun by telling me I got to change a name out?
What's a half barrel?
It's a half barrel of keg. There's pony kegs, which are a quarter barrel. And
Keg.
It's a keg.
It's a keg.
It's keg.
Barrel's keg. In Wisconsin, we used to say barrel parties. I didn't know really kegs until I went to college.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Half barrel.
right.
You throw in a half barrel, you throw in a full barrel. 3 barrels at Ryan Jobs' land.
Whoa.
Oh.
That's a fucking party.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
what's the difference between a keg and a...
There's a keg and a half keg. A full keg is about 150 beers. A half keg,
It's pony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, 150 beers?
Patrick, you're all old now. You're not going to be drinking all that beer. I'll make some margaritas. I was like, now get the half barrel, Mom.
So you got the half barrel PBR.
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna get a
have
half barrel.
60 people at your mother's house, which you slept on a mattress.
Yeah. Blow up mattress.
This is. I want to come.
Yeah, I want to go too. Me and Nick will fly out with you, buddy.
We actually had some listeners reach out to say, hey, can I come too?
On the Facebook post, and you said you
I messaged them privately. No.
Why?
Well, it's going to be weird. I'm with my friends and family. How the fuck am I going to be like, oh, let's talk about, I know Dylan is kind of funny too. And yeah, you know, what the fuck am I going to do?
Wouldn't you love though if you had fans coming up to you as you're holding court, catching up with your old friends, and someone comes up there like, hey Patrick.
Now, we do have a particular listener where I said, on the next night, I'm going out to a bar. You're welcome to come chat me up there.
All right, guys, join him in Leominster.
One more
Leominster.
One more important about it. Does your
One more
wife
important about it?
It's an important point.
Yeah.
I combined it. It's a portmanteau about an important
Am I a
point. did it on
douchebag? I thought
purpose.
that was a fun post.
No,
it's fine.
It was
It's
super fun,
very
but
pat.
it's hometown Facebook. Did your wife have any problem with you including the ex-girlfriends, inviting them to show
She
up?
hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah. Interesting note. Let us know how that develops.
Jump in the iTunes ratings and reviews. Free one or a paid one, I should say.
This is a
every
paid
week.
one, right?
No.
Oh,
it's
fuck.
free.
Was
Join
Karen
us
coming after me?
on patreon.com for more content. Join us on YouTube. We love you guys very much. We'll see you next week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Bon voyage.
Pat, say goodbye.
Bye.